So, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I will go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully, everybody can see it okay. Just do brief introductions with American Muslim Community Foundation. So make sure you're in the right space here today for a webinar on Make Your Nonprofit Visible to Funders, a free tool you're probably not using. And huge welcome and thank you to our ASL interpreter, Mona Jamal, provided by the Minnesota Deaf Muslim Community. Just brief welcome, housekeeping, intro to AMCF and the Women's Giving Circle, speaker information, upcoming events, and then our presentation. And huge again, thank you for joining us today. This will be recorded and we'll make it publicly available within the next few days. A little bit about AMCF. Our vision is leading sustainable and strategic Muslim philanthropy for today and future generations, cultivating donor giving and diversifying funding to advance charitable causes. And we have sacred, strategic, sustainable, collaborative, diverse, inclusive, and integrity are our core values. So trying to be mindful and not speaking faster than Mona's hands can speak as well. So AMCF is for us. We are the only nonprofit for American Muslims in the country. There are 900 other community foundations available, but this is the only one for us. About AMCF, well, we were founded in 2016. We serve as the intermediary for about $27 million in donations that have been distributed through us to over 1,000 nonprofits in those 9 years. Just this Ramadan 2026, $3 million was distributed through AMCF, mashallah. Currently, we manage approximately $9 million in donor assets, including 280 donor advised funds and over 30 endowments. And why AMCF? There's lots of other providers, Fidelity, Schwab, many others. We do make sure our investments, our donations are invested ethically, Sharia compliant. Fees are very small, and our fees support community programs such as this today. Our giving strategies are aligned with Muslim values. We have philanthropic advisory services. If you have questions, we're happy to advise on where you could send your donations. And then our programs are to build Muslim nonprofits and the Muslim community. Our impact, as I mentioned, over 280 DAFs, over 30 endowments, over actually $27 million in funding, and currently $9 million of assets under management. Our core programs are for donors and nonprofits, including donor advised funds, giving circles, endowments, and leadership development. We also provide community resources. We have a curated weekly newsletter, educational webinars like this one today, hashtag Muslim Philanthropy Podcast, networking events, the annual Nonprofit Summit, the Ramadan Family Guide, Zakat Calculator, as well as collaborations with other organizations, because we are not here to do it ourselves. We were to do it with community, in community. As you mentioned, one of our marquee events is our annual Nonprofit Summit, held annually on Labor Day weekend before the ISTA convention. And we also serve leadership. We have national communities serving our community, including the National Muslim Plan Giving Council. We have an investment committee, National Muslim Endowment Network, and with the Association Fundraising Professionals, AFP, we moderate their Muslim Affinity Group, which has quarterly meetings, as well as a WhatsApp group. So if you're in development fundraising, we encourage you to attend. In terms of the Muslim Affinity Group, it is open to the public. You do not need to be a member with AFP. We also have a nonprofit resource center we encourage you to check out. My colleagues have curated a number of great resources. And if you have questions on nonprofits or something you want to know more about, please feel free to reach out, nonprofit engage at amuslimcf.org. And of course, we have a women's giving circle. MDNC on the call today was a grantee in last cycle. And the whole purpose is to harness the power of American Muslim women through collective giving, combine and democratize their giving, amplify women-focused nonprofits, support Muslim women in leadership, and provide seamless donations to organizations chosen by our members. So very much a we and not a me-focused organization initiative. And how it works, you simply join. It is to be very democratic, a low entry point of just $5 a month or more. Of course, larger donations are welcome, but $5 is sufficient to become a member. To become a voting member, you contribute $35 a month or more. Each summer, normally end of summer around August, members can nominate their favorite nonprofit. As long as it's a 501c3 doing work in the US and in good fiscal standing, it is eligible for nomination for consideration of funding. We do have a preference for organizations that are led by or serving American Muslim women. And then our voting members determine, they have a first round of voting and then a second round of voting to determine the finalists and the top 3 organizations that will be funded from this pool. And so over the past 3 cycles, we have collectively raised and distributed a little over $55,000 to 9 nonprofits in 3 cycles. Currently, we have 40 members and have collectively raised a little over $11,500 this cycle. And then our nominations for 2026 cycle open soon. So make sure if you're not a member, we welcome you to become a member. And if you're male, we are happy to take your money. You can also join on behalf of your sister, wife, daughter, niece. We are very friendly, but only women can vote. So sorry. And as we mentioned last year's cycle, we had 18 amazing nominees. 14 of them earned their gold or platinum Candid Seal Transparency, what we're going to be learning more about today. We had 5 finalists and 3 grantees. The Minnesota Deaf Muslim community, yay. They received $7,500 to establish that new endowment. 200 Muslim Women Who Care received $4,500 to build up their current endowment, which again, endowments are great for showing strategic planning. It's encouragement for larger donors. They want to see that you can be around for the long term. So they actually can use endowment as a fundraising vehicle. And the Hair Collective is a small nonprofit. They elected to obtain their $3,000 in the form of an unrestricted grant. And again, join us. The Women's Giving Circle cycle for 2026 is now open, and nominations will be cycle or period will be opening next month, inshallah. There's a QR code. And then we also have a number of upcoming events. We encourage you to follow us and check them out there's a QR code and the link there. July 11th in Southern California, for those of you joining here or viewing this later on, I'd love for you to join us at a Connect and Thrive lunch in the Inland Empire, which is in Southern California, not LA or Orange County, but east towards the desert. On Saturday, July 11th, hosted by Health. So happy to have you join. There's a small ticket price to include the lunch and just cover the costs. So please check it out, join us. August 2nd, we are partnering with Islamic Relief USA and a couple other local organizations for a women-only event on faith and resilience in times of crisis. It's also with ICNA Relief, who is on here today as well. So thank you. And then, as you mentioned, our annual nonprofit summit will be held September 3rd. We will be also having an optional activity the morning of Friday, September 4th, to a local community organization there, Dream of Detroit. So please, there's a save the date link. We'll be giving out more information in the coming weeks on registration, pricing, and the schedule. Again, September 12th in SoCal, we are just finalizing information for a youth design challenge for high school youth in Southern California in partnership with several community organizations. I just want to share that out. And also in October, partnering with Noor Emporium for a book expo, highlighting the rich history of Islamic literature, storytelling, and knowledge in our community, both today and over the course of time. And now for today, oops, that logo didn't make the final cut. Sorry about that. I will adjust that. But today is Make Your Nonprofit Visible to Funders with Zahra Bokhari Hassan, the Senior Development Manager at Candid, and who brings over 15 years of dedicated experience in the philanthropic sector, specializing in strategic fundraising to support mission-driven organizations. In her current role at Candid, she builds vital relationships with institutional funders to secure the resources that empower nonprofits with data, tools, and training. Previously, she provided fundraising expertise as a consultant for the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists and the World Food Program USA. And she served as a program associate at the Greater Washington Community Foundation. She holds an MPA in Human Rights and Humanitarian Policy from Columbia University and a BA in Economics and Mathematics from NYU. Zahra's diverse experience highlights her commitment to advancing meaningful causes through strategic fundraising, and we're so honored to have her here today. She's also part of the leadership circle for the Women's Giving Circle. So, yay, thank you. And again, thank you to Mona Jamal, our amazing AOS interpreter, and the Minnesota Deaf Muslim community for making that available to our viewers today. AMCF is intentional, and all of our webinars this year and the coming years, we're committed to have ASL interpretation, alhamdulillah. So now I will stop sharing and turn it over to Zahra.
Thank you. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, perfect. Lisa, you're not seeing presenter view, right? You're seeing...
No, we're seeing the whole view.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Zahra Hassan. I'm a Senior Development Manager at Candid. So today I'm going to show you a free tool you're probably not using or not using to its full potential and how it could make a difference in your fundraising. So just a quick intro before we dive in. Candid is a nonprofit ourselves. Our job is to give you the data, insights, and training that you need to do your work well. You might have already heard of either Foundation Center or GuideStar. Candid was formed when Foundation Center and GuideStar merged back in 2019. So Foundation Center had all the data on foundations. GuideStar had all the data on nonprofits. So together we have a very comprehensive view of the social sector. So here's what we're going to cover today. I'm going to talk about what Candid is, why funders rely on it, what a seal of transparency is, how to claim and update your nonprofit profile. Spoiler alert, it takes less than an hour. And then what it takes to earn a seal and how that supports your long-term fundraising. So let's start with the basics, what Candid is and why funders and donors rely on it. So every year, thousands of nonprofits are doing incredible, vital work, and they never get the funding that they need, not because funders don't care, but because neither side knows how to find each other. So Candid is working to solve that. We help nonprofits find funders most likely to support them and help donors find organizations that are aligned with their values. And then we use all that data to produce research that helps the whole sector understand where money is flowing and where the gaps are across the 1.9 million nonprofits across the US. So we're a nonprofit ourselves, and we believe that transparency really drives change in our communities. So we have data on these 1.9 million nonprofits across the US. And that data goes beyond just what 990s shows. It's sourced directly from nonprofits, from grant makers, from public record. So we're really trying to tell the full story of the social sector and understand the flow of donations in the US. 95% of our users access our data for free. And the data that Candid has also powers more than 200 giving platforms, donor advised funds, grants management systems. And so Candid profiles and seals of transparency don't just show up on candid.org, but their information is also shared across a range of partners. So I'm going to tell you more about seals of transparency, but earning those seals of transparency are going to help you stand out across this whole vast network. So now let's take a look at what a seal of transparency is and what it signals to funders. So before I get to the seals, let me tell you about Candid profiles. So here's something a lot of you may not know. Your organization is likely already in Candid's database, which is built from IRS data. So whether you've claimed it or not, there is a profile on your nonprofit in Candid. That profile is often the first place a donor or a funder looks to learn who you are, what you do, and who you serve. The problem is if you haven't claimed it or updated it, that information may be outdated or incomplete. So donors aren't getting a full, complete picture of who you are and what you do. So claiming your profile lets you control that story, answer donor questions before they even ask, and make sure that your work and your community are accurately represented. It also matters beyond candid.org itself because, like I mentioned, that data is being pushed out to our 200 plus data partners. So, like Facebook and Instagram, you might have seen fundraisers. All of that data is coming from Candid. So, a seal of transparency is earned depending on how much you share on your Candid profile. There's 4 levels. There's the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And each level builds on the one before, guiding you to tell a more comprehensive story of your work. So I'm going to break down the 4 seals. Each one builds on the last, so you earn them in order, starting with bronze. So the bronze seal, it takes about 15 minutes. You're sharing the basics about your mission, leadership, population served, contact details. So this is what makes sure donors can find you in the first place. The silver one is quicker. It's about 5 minutes. That's where you add your program information. So program names, descriptions, geographic area served, brand elements like your logo. And so this is where you're starting to make your case for support. The gold seal takes about 10 minutes to complete. It asks for a little more. It asks for financial documents and leadership demographics. And this is the seal that's really building that trust with funders. And a quick reminder, I'm going to talk about this in a second, but if your organization has a budget of under $1 million, earning a gold seal of transparency unlocks free access to Candid Search, which is our fundraising tool. And then the platinum seal also takes about 10 minutes. It's where you share your goals, strategies, and impact you're making. So this is your chance to really highlight outcomes and not just activities. So altogether, it's going to take about 40 minutes to an hour to complete, spread across the 4 levels to go from findable to fully telling your impact story. So like I mentioned, this information is shared across 200 plus platforms. So having your information out there in your own words is huge and it helps donors find you. We have about 14 million people who use Candid each year. So the more up to date and comprehensive your profile is, the more donors are going to see about you. There's also a shareable link to your full profile that people can access without having to log into anything. So you can use it to put in your newsletters, post it to social media, put it in your email signatures, wherever you want it. So it's easy for potential funders to learn about you, get a full picture of your work, and really be able to dig into like financials, programs, etc. One big thing we like to tell people is that when you earn a bronze seal of transparency, that's the first one, it allows you to enable Apple Pay donations. So I'm someone who never has their credit card with me. It's really, I love Apple Pay. So that's a big plus to just like remove that stickiness from donations. So getting that bronze seal is great. You can go to your GMS and tell them you have a bronze seal and I'll link an article, but it's a great way to enable Apple Pay. It also allows you to have one more benefit is that Candid free access to our fundraising database, which I'll share in a second. So if you have that gold seal of transparency and your nonprofit has a budget of under $1 million, you get a full free year of access to Candid Search, which is our fundraising data tool. So when you go into Candid Search, it's going to help you find funders, connect with them, apply for grants you may not have found otherwise. So I would highly prioritize getting that gold seal. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through how to claim it, and then I'll also do a demo. But the first thing you do is you go to app.candid.org and create your account. I highly recommend using your organization email address to speed up the approval process. So once you're in, you will then go search for your organization by either name or EIN. When you find it, you go to their profile. I have AMCF's profile up here. On the right in that circled area, it says, "Is this your organization?" So you're going to click that to start the claim process.
Um, Zahra, did you want to allow people to put in their organization and check it out, or you want to have them do that later on?
I'll have them do it. I just wanted to walk through the process and then they can get to it.
Sure.
Um, so a quick note that if you are using a personal email or your organization doesn't have a website, we might ask you for additional information just to verify that you are linked to that actual nonprofit. We don't want anyone just going in there and updating other people's organizational profiles. So you might get asked for additional information. So you would have to either share a EIN issuance letter or IRS affirmation letter confirming your nonprofit status. If you're using your work email, though, you should not have to do any of this. Okay, step 3. So once your email is verified and approved, you'll see a button that says View My Organization Profile. So you're going to click that and you're in and ready to start editing. So I'll show you what this looks like in real life. So let me walk you through a live profile. I'm going to stop sharing real quick.
And Zahra, maybe just give it a little bit more pause so Mona can interpret.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm going to share what it looks like once you're in. Okay, so once you have logged in, you're in your app.candid.org, you've logged in, you're going to go to this little profile icon and you're going to go to My Organizations. So this is where you're going to see the organization's profile that you're managing. So you're going to go in and edit. This is just confirming that this information is visible publicly. So you're going to accept that. So on the right here, you're going to see all the requirements for the various seals of transparency and all the it'll link you to all the fields. This is the main form that you're filling out. And then there's some extra fields like logo and stuff. Those are not linked to your seal. Anything linked to the seal is going to be tagged with that bronze, silver, gold, platinum tag, so you know what's required to earn the seal. All the other stuff is important, but you can skip it if you don't have it. And then as you can scroll down and see what else is required for each of the seal levels. One of the things that I always want to highlight is the seals benefit button. That's where you can go and see, this will give you instructions on how to set up Apple Pay. This is where you would get your shareable links. You can share it with potential funders. And then you can get the outreach toolkit and add the seal widget to your website. And go back. I know we're a small group, so I'm happy for anyone, if you have questions while I'm in the profile, I'm happy to answer questions. Otherwise, I can keep going. Let me know whatever works for you all.
If anyone wants to raise their hand, if you have a question, you can use the raise your hand feature, or if you wanted to unmute, just be mindful. You want to make sure that everybody can participate and you don't talk or speak over anybody. Okay, we did have a question earlier, Zahra, if you want to address now, later. Brother Azam was asking if Candid is like Benevity and what's the advantage of Candid over any other platform, or should you do them all?
Benevity, I believe, is like you make great, like people donate through Benevity. No one donates through us. We're really the place where funders come to find nonprofits. And then all of our data is linked to so many different places. So like if you have a Vanguard donor advised fund or something, our data is being pumped into Vanguard. So their donors are using our data to find nonprofits that they care about. So that's why it's really important that you fill out all of your information, specifically like population served, geographic area served, So if someone is looking for a Muslim serving nonprofit, they are easily able to find you. Right now, there's very few Muslim nonprofits that have tagged themselves as serving Muslim populations. So when I want to go in and find a Muslim nonprofit to donate to, I kind of have to know them because they haven't tagged themselves as like specifically serving Muslim populations. So the benefit of having a candid profile is this data is being pumped out to so many different places. So you're really making yourself visible well beyond just the people who are using us to find a place to donate to. But no one donates directly through Candid. It's really, we're just trying to get people, we want nonprofits to be visible. We want foundations to be visible so nonprofits know who they can apply to for funding. And when I show you our full database, I'll show you there's also open RFPs that are available. Like you can see which ones have open RFPs, which ones will, fund, which ones are more likely to fund the work that you're doing.
And maybe just caveat that everybody, all 501(c)(3)s show up on Candid, right? Whether you
Yeah.
choose to do anything or not.
Yeah, so we have data on all nonprofits. It's the bare bones comes from the 990s that all nonprofits file. So if you have filed any kind of IRS 990 anything, you're in there. It's really a matter of going in there and claiming it and keeping it updated so that it's a more comprehensive view of the work that you're doing.
Brother Azim, does that a help? We'll assume yes. Thank you.
Okay. Um, where did I go? Am I sh No, I'm not sharing. Let me share again. Okay. So a few best practices just to keep your profile up to date once a year to keep your seal active. And then you earn seals in order, so you can't skip ahead. And make sure you review every field before you submit. And don't forget to hit publish because otherwise your updates won't show up. And then this one, these tips are especially important for this group is under population served. Make sure you include Muslims. That's how donors and funders who are specifically looking to support Muslim serving organizations are going to be able to find you. And funders often search by geography, so I would highly recommend you also fill out that field. So now we have an exercise for you all to go to app.candid.org and search for your organization. Check to see if a profile already exists, to see if the information's accurate, and go ahead and bookmark that page so you can come back and claim or update your profile.
And I put the link in the chat. Is that the correct link?
I'm looking at it right. Yes. So I'm going to pause for a few seconds to see if everyone's able to do that, and I'm happy to help troubleshoot.
Okay, so I logged in and I saw AMCF, but when I go in, like part of it is like grayed out. Is that how it looks?
No, it shouldn't. Tech issues always happen when I'm presenting anything. That's where like technology is like not today.
And I guess to that point, Zahra, is there like a helpline? Like if you notice, like,
Yeah, I've included a link to the help page. So there's a serve yourself help section, and then there's also it'll be a pop-up on that page. So I'll share all of the PDF, like I'll share a PDF of all these slides after this with you, Lisa, so you can share it with everyone. And then all of the links are actually in this presentation, so everyone can click into it.
thank you.
Okay, hopefully you were able to find the site and your nonprofit or log in at the very
Maybe just
least.
take a moment, just like thumbs up or in the chat. Can you just say yes found it, if in it something so we know you're good? At least you know where to go.
As long as you know where to go.
Okay, Gabby says yes. Um, Anwar, yay. Asma, yay. Azim, yay. Rauda,
Perfect.
did you find your organization? And Mustafa, I think you. If you had any problems or couldn't find it, this is a great time to unmute, raise your hand, put in the text. We have the expert with us, so if not, we will move on. Just give another couple seconds.
Okay. Okay. So I had mentioned free access to Candid Search if you're a small nonprofit that earns a gold seal of transparency. So by small, the threshold is $1 million in budget. If you have under $1 million, you are considered small, and if you earn that gold seal, you're eligible for free access to Candid Search. So Candid Search is our fundraising tool. It has data on 300,000 grant makers, 29 million grants, and a bunch of open RFPs. So when you have an account in Candid, you can create a personalized dashboard, you can get tailored funder recommendations, and use an AI-powered LOI writing tool. The scariest part of writing an LOI is that blank page, so I love it. It's probably not going to be perfect, but it's going to pull stuff from your Candid profile to generate that first version of an LOI. So I love when there's something on the page for me to edit instead of starting from scratch. So Candid Premium is one of our subscription levels. That's the free subscription that you get if you're eligible for that Go for Gold promotion. So through Candid Premium, you're going to be able to find and connect with new funders for your nonprofit, gain insight on their past giving, conduct grant research, and you can track your grant seeking progress in a single application. And I'm happy to share my screen again and I can show you what that dashboard looks like. But essentially, what Candid Premium gives you is you'll find new funders. You can build that personalized dashboard to track your fundraising. So you can save searches, you can save a funder list, you can save a prospect list. You can explore their full giving history. Because a lot of times funders say they fund certain thing in their words, but then you look at the actual grants and they fund something else. So that grant data is really helpful and a good indicator of what they're willing to fund. So you really see like who's giving to who, who's receiving funding, what grant opportunities are open right now, and then that LOI writer and recommendations and RFP recommendations that I mentioned.
So just to clarify, if you get your gold seal transparency and you have an under $1 million operating budget in your nonprofit, you would have free access to both Candid Search and Candid Premium.
So Candid Premium is the level of subscription in Candid Search.
But
Yeah.
that's you would get like both what you're just talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the
Yeah.
amazing things you would
Yes.
have for free just by spending 30 to 45 minutes and filling out.
Yep. Highly recommend get that free access. And the other level is really for grant makers. It has a bunch of compliance stuff. And so you don't, it like that Candid Ultimate level is not even something that nonprofits need. Candid Premium is the level for nonprofits. So how to access it? One is when you earn that gold seal of transparency and you have under $1 million in budget. Another way is we have 2,100 Candid community partner locations nationwide. And there's a link in this presentation so you can find a location near you if you haven't earned that seal of transparency, or if you have a higher budget and you don't qualify, you can still get free access at those 2,100 locations. Or obviously you can purchase a subscription directly. I've put the link in here, but I want you all to get that free access. So get free access and find grants to support the phenomenal work you do. And then beyond the profile, Candid has some other free resources worth knowing about. So Candid Learning, this is our training platform. It offers free webinars, on-demand videos, guides on fundraising, proposal writing. Candid Insights is our blog with data-driven insights tips, perspectives from nonprofits and grant seekers. So I would highly recommend signing up for the newsletter. We have a couple of newsletters. You can choose your own adventure to see which one you're interested in or both. But our team shares some really great tips. And
So
then I've also put in, yeah, sorry.
we do have a question in the chat. Gabby found the organization. They have a platinum seal. Yay.
Love it.
Link to somebody, another coworker's email. How can they add additional emails? Because I remember, or how can they do that? Is it only one? Can they have multiple?
No, you can have multiple profile managers. That other person would just have to go in and do the same thing where they go into Candid, they have their own account, they go into app.candid.org, pull up the organization's profile and click, is this my organization? Or I'm forgetting the exact wording, but they would just do the same claim process.
But so say, for example, I'm on the American Muslim Community Foundation. It's only my email right now. Do
Mhm.
I have to go in and add a coworker, or can the coworker go in and get and add themselves?
They have to add themselves
Okay. And what
for
happens?
now.
Okay, and so they would just go through the process you just went through.
Yep,
Gabby can
exactly.
go ahead and add herself to that. You just make sure she uses her work email, add
Yes.
herself to an organization. Now, what happens if, say, that coworker that's currently there, like they're no longer working there?
Um, well, so are you talking about wanting to remove someone?
So she's asking about adding, but at the same time, like, what happens if somebody is no longer there? How do you like remove them?
I think right now you would have to put in a help request. We're working on the tool that'll let you actually manage all of the owners in one place and then people can add and remove them. Right now, you would just have to put in a request to remove someone.
Gabby or anybody else, questions on accessing or things that you may or may not want to do um, to log in? Okay, Gabby said thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I just linked a couple of things. One of them is a step-by-step instruction guide for how to earn each seal of transparency. So it'll tell you exactly what you need for each of them. The other one is step by step how to get that free access to Candid Search. And then I've also linked our help page. So it'll have help articles, but it also has a help form that you can fill out, and then our customer support team can get back to you. That's all I've got, but I'm happy to take any questions that you all have.
Did you want to perhaps log in maybe to one of our organizations and just show what's there? Like maybe I think
Sure.
as MDMC, I think you're there, or AMCF, just so people can see kind of what it looks like and
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Because it sounds like you've never done it. It sounds like really, a lot to do, and show what we're actually talking about. And some of the
Okay.
things that maybe you don't have to do, but if you were logging in, would actually be nice to know if you're a donor or a potential funder, or even just somebody. I know people ask me like, how do I make sure this organization is legit? I'm like, well, just search on Canada. You don't have to use Google or AI. Is it
Yeah.
legitimate, 100%? And maybe just talk to a little bit about that.
So that's what a lot of our funder customers use Candid for, is making sure that all of these nonprofits that they're giving to are compliant. So I searched for American Muslim Community Foundation. It came up. So I'm on AMCF's profile. They have a gold seal of transparency. I'm guessing you did that, Lisa. Good job.
Our co-founder Mohit Khwaja did. So
Oh, really?
or even they talked to me. So yes.
So if I worked at AMCF and I wanted to go in and also claim this profile, this is that button I would click. Is this your organization? And that would take me to fill in my email and do the whole claims process, which is fairly painless. And so this is what the profile looks like. So here's the summary page. This is all the compliance information on the right. You'll see what their focus area is. This is when you fill out your programs, this is what it looks like. And then you have an overview of the grants that they've made, total giving, people, and then contact information. And then if you go back up, you'll see more information if you click into each of these tabs. And so you'll see program results. So this is that platinum stuff that I was talking about. You're getting there. You could earn a platinum seal, Lisa.
Yeah.
Um, so they've shared some impact metrics. You'll see, so this is the juicy stuff that nonprofits want to see is where are you making your grants? And I guess because you have such a high representation of California donors, a lot of them are making grants to California. But like this would be a good indicator if like, for example, I had I don't know, education nonprofit in Brooklyn. I would look to see, is this funder funding in New York and what areas, what subject areas do they care about? And then you can see all of the grants. So you'll see a whole list of grants. You can filter them based on whatever you're looking for. This piece is helpful because like the common grant size, I mean, a donor advised, but like a community foundation is not the perfect representation. But if I were to go to a different foundation, um, let's say this is just one that I was looking at. If I were to go to this other foundation, I'm going to look at their grants. I'll see, okay, they are really focused on the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. It's highly unlikely that they're going to give to me if I'm based outside of that region. This is the area, subject area that they care about. I would think about whether I'm a good fit for that. And then I can dig into their grants data to see, okay, they give about $3,000. If I don't have a prior relationship with them, I probably shouldn't ask for much more. So you have a good idea of the range to ask for and things like that.
And go back, like, can you just show everybody, like, how would you search? Like,
So
if
if I'm on the
I'm
main,
looking for, I need money, like everybody needs money for organization. So what would I put in to find organizations that give money to my organization, like to SMS organization in Minnesota? How would I do that?
okay, so I'm gonna go to Minnesota. I can't spell. Is there two Minnesota? No, I don't know how to spell Minnesota apparently. Okay, there we
There you go.
go. Okay. So, so Lisa, are you saying how would I find organizations that give to, so
So
then
like
I would,
I'm with the Minnesota Deaf Muslim community. They have
yeah,
their profile. They did everything you said. And now Asma wants to find, she wants to find people that are going to give money to like, how would you, they're already set up.
okay.
She is candid to find funders or find grantors.
So then I would search for foundations that are giving to disability nonprofits.
Hmm.
And you can do by filter instead of searching by keyword. So you can put in population served.
So in this search button right there, you put whatever you want.
Yeah, so you would click, so instead of having to type, you can use filters. So you would go to the filter button, you would click on population served and click on disability, you would type in disability. So either you can look for all health serving or you can do a subset and pick people with disabilities. And then Minnesota, luckily it popped up, so I didn't have to try to spell it. And then you can filter for whether you're looking for all organizations, grant makers, recipients. So let's do grant makers. And then you'll have a list of grant makers that fund that area. So then you can go into them and see. What I like to do is like, I'll go in here and see who else have they funded. So I'll look at their grants and look to see if there's organizations like me that they have funded. And then this snapshot helps me get an idea of how much I can ask for. And then this tab, if they have open RFPs, you'll
Mm.
see that here. This will link you to what their application process looks like, so you can dig more into what they're looking for. But yeah, I like to use the grants tab is really helpful to give you a sense of how much to ask for and who whether they're likely to give to you. Their people tab is helpful because you can do some cyber stalking and see if you have connections to any of the people in leadership. If your leadership team knows someone there, you can look on LinkedIn. You'll look to see who their staff is. And then they have a primary contact person. So maybe you can just send a warm email introducing yourself and see if you can get an intro meeting with them to see if they would be likely to fund your work before you go through the whole process of doing an application.
Right.
And then that personalized dashboard I was talking about, you can create collections. So you, it should automatically generate a collection of your funders. So people who have already, foundations who have already funded you. If you're a foundation, you'll see who your grantees are. Last year, I just wanted to create a collection of all the Giving Circle nominees because I was interested to learn more about them. So I created a collection so I can look through all of them, click into their profile, see what they're all about. Um,
So
and
that's
then
you as an individual. So if you,
that's me as an individual. Yeah.
so you as an individual, like, or say like Esma, she can go in and she can create like her own kind of personalized dashboard of,
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can do saved searches so that you don't have to keep doing the same search multiple times. You can save your own search so that you don't, you're like, it'll refresh the list, but that search exists in one place. I don't remember if I shared this number. This is an important number. We wanted to make sure that like all this stuff that we're doing actually matters. And so we're like, what does it mean to actually have a seal of transparency? We conducted research and we found that organizations that earn a candid seal of transparency see 62% more in contributions. And so highly recommend you're like we're not a donation platform, but we are making nonprofits more visible to donors,
which is what everybody wants, right? More
which
money.
is what everyone wants. And then funder recommendations. So once you filled out your profile, you can click on funder recommendations for to see what Candid recommends, which funders Candid recommends that you apply to. Other questions while I'm in here?
Yeah, you're welcome to unmute, raise your hand if you have a question, you want Zahra to go over a step. I know I've asking a couple questions, but if you want her to show how to do anything, please ask. Okay, Gabby.
Assalamu alaikum.
So,
I just had a question, a follow-up question. I tried to go in again to claim the organization as you had mentioned, but unfortunately, there's no way for me to particularly do that in the ICNA Relief USA programs. I don't know where exactly. I know you showed it before. Sorry.
Yeah, so if you go to your profile, if you scroll down, so on the right, right under all of the compliance information, you'll see this button over here. Is this your organization? So you're going to click on that.
I'm so sorry. I missed that. Can
Oh,
you?
no problem. So I
and
went to your,
maybe make your screen bigger, Zahra, so she can, is that,
oh, is it not? It's full screen on mine.
okay. Can you see where she's at, Gabby?
I can see, yeah, I can see ICNA Relief, but I don't see the button that she was
Yeah.
mentioning.
So you scroll down, here's all the compliance stuff. If you go right under it, you'll see suggest an edit or is this your organization? So you're going to click on is this your organization?
Got it. Thank
And
you.
when you click that, it'll ask you to accept terms of you. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to manage your organization's profile. But that's how you would do it. And then you would verify your connection and be able to claim the profile.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions?
Any other statistics you want to share, Zahra? I know people, like why? or if they have a board or something, and
Esma,
why
I
should
have
they
a
be doing
question.
this? Oh, sorry.
Okay, yes, so this is Esma, and we currently have a gold seal of transparency. And the thing is that we're working on getting the platinum currently, but also we're struggling a bit because the organization with the street, our strategic planning, pardon me. So we're still trying to develop that. Can you tell us more about, strategic planning, please?
So you should still be able to earn that platinum seal even if you are in the middle of strategic planning. Because so the gold, let me make sure that I am saying this right because I don't want to mix things up. I'm pretty sure. Where's my cheat sheet? Okay, so gold is financial and leadership demographics. So as long as you can upload your audit or your 990, you should be able to get to gold. And then for demographics, I also want to say, one, I think it's
We have the
important to
gold. We already have the
oh, you
gold.
do have, oh, sorry, you have gold. You're getting to platinum. So for platinum,
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so that we're working on the platinum and the
you're working
strategic
on, gotcha.
planning aspect.
Gotcha. So you can share what your strategies have been for the previous year because really what you need for platinum is to be able to share metrics for the previous year, not the current year. So even if it's going to change, you can definitely share what the strategies were in your previous year. That way you can share impact metrics for, let's say, 2025. And as long as you're sharing impact metrics for 2025, you will get that 2026 seal.
And you want to just explain a little bit what impact metrics mean?
So, for example, if you're a education nonprofit, how many students you served? If you are a animal shelter, how many, I don't know, dogs you've rescued? For us at Candid, it's like we talk about how many nonprofits have claimed seals of transparency. We talk about how many training participants have registered for our programs, how many users we have, and things like that. So it really depends on the nonprofit and how they describe impact. And in terms of demographics, I did want to share all of it. Even if it's required, there is always a decline to state option for every single demographic question. So even if you click on decline to state, you have checked that box of filling out demographic data. Because I know some organizations are more sensitive to what information they want to share on public profiles given the state of the world. And so I just wanted to flag that decline to state is always an option for demographic information, and that still counts as you having answered the question.
Any other tips for Esma as they're taking?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Any other tips for Esma, Zahra?
I'm happy to chat about any specifics. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm happy to chat about specific scenarios.
Okay, sure, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
And I guess on that point, if it's as you guys are hopefully claiming your profiles and getting your gold or platinum seals, if you do run into difficulties, please feel free to reach out. I'll put my email in the chat, and I'm happy to connect with. If I know how to do it, I will tell you. Otherwise, I'm happy to connect you with Zahra and her team. I know last year for the Giving Circle, some things I could answer, some things I could answer, and some things we forwarded on to somebody else. But between that, I think we were able to answer everybody's questions. So please, happy to use us to if you do have any difficulties in this process. In general, it's easy, but there's life and things happen. So
yeah, and the big why is really just to get your nonprofit to be more visible because we really are putting that information out in so many different places. I mean, there's like all these donation platforms, all these grants management systems. You might see Candid's logo in a bunch of grants management systems. you can actually pull all the information from, depending on how they've set it up, but you can pull information from your Candid profile directly into grants management systems. So it makes it easier for you to fill out grant applications so that you don't have to keep doing the same thing, like typing in your mission 17 million times and things like that. And we get so many donors who, like individual donors, who are just looking for a place to donate, and they go into Candid's database to find nonprofits to volunteer for, to donate to, and that's how they find them.
Well, thank you so much, Zahra. We have just a minute or two. If anybody has any lingering questions, there's something that hasn't been addressed. Um, I know that, again, a lot of stuff and a lot of things you pretty much have to do on your own, but maybe any final words of wisdom also from Zahra, like.
I don't know about final words of wisdom, but I would say, like, if you can take advantage of free fundraising data, do it. If you can get that gold seal, get that free access to Candid Search and find some money, because it's rough out there for nonprofits. So I want to make sure you're all getting free stuff.
And when you do get your kind of, make sure you put it on your website in your signature. It does make a difference. So make sure you take advantage. Take advantage, but then let people know that you're taking advantage. It's a great way to engage with your donors, in terms of your stewardship and stuff. Make sure you let people know, it's a great social media post. Even if you're updating, like as you update and you get your 2026, make sure you let people know, like let your community, your donors know. Yeah, that's a social media post, put in your newsletter, like advertise out. It is a big deal.
And if you tag Candid, we will respond, we will comment, we will like. So feel free to tag Candid.
I think we're done for the day. So thank you so much, Zahra. Thank you, Muna. Thank you, everybody who attended today. And for those who are watching or participating later, please take advantage. And American Muslim Community Foundation, we are definitely here to serve you. Check out our upcoming events. I'll put the link in the chat. And again, feel free to reach out at any time. So thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much.
1 second.
You're